Excellent. To both of you, I'd like to say thank you for your decision to make this commitment to join the services. Really, this is a commitment to something greater than ourselves, a commitment to not only defend the citizens of this country, but also our freedoms and rights as citizens. So when you put on this uniform of your service, make sure you keep that in mind as you go forward from here after you take the oath today. You are becoming part of that leading edge of that legacy that started when your services were first founded. I encourage you to look into, if you haven't already, looked into the history of your service, into some of the figures that made it as great as it is today, and has helped keep this country as great as it is today. So keep that in mind. Very proud legacy for both of you. You're joining great teams. Keep that in mind. Thank you for being here and for your support for their decision today. It's great to have you here. Thank you for your patience with some of the processes that go along with military processing here at the MEPS. It's really good to have you here this afternoon to support. So what I'm going to do here is go through some basic instructions so everyone's on the same page, and then we'll go forward with the oath. Okay. So I'll be asking you 3 pre-oath questions. You'll both say yes sir or no sir to each of those questions, depending on your answer. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and put you both in the position of attention. Have you raise your right hands and start the oath. The first line of the oath is I, state your full name. When I say that, I'll turn to each of you individually. So I'll just make eye contact with each of you, 1 and 2, okay? And then each of you will say I and then your names. Then I'll go through the rest of the oath, and you'll just repeat after me together, okay? So it's only that first part that you do individually. All right, remember that you have the option to say either do solemnly swear or do solemnly affirm, okay? And if you do say do solemnly affirm, you just leave so help me God out of the end of the oath, okay? But that is your choice. I'm only going to say do solemnly swear, so keep that in mind so don't throw you off, okay? All right, when we're finished with the oath, what I'm going to have you do is follow me into the operations classroom. We're going to take a look at your contracts individually, look for numbers and letters, make sure everything's accurate, okay? If anything is inaccurate, just let me know. We'll go ahead and get with the service. We'll make the correction, either with the service themselves or with my staff, and we'll go ahead and bring you right back up and take care of your contract at that time. Provided everything's correct, you go ahead and sign the contract right where you're at in the operations classroom. Then you'll go up front and there'll be a couple of copies printed out for you to take down to your service offices, okay? Once you get down there, this is your opportunity to ask any further questions you have of them, and they'll impart any information you need to know until you will come back this way again, okay? So any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. You're welcome to use the ceremony room. I believe these 2 gentlemen are our last 2 applicants to data process, if I understand that correctly. So the ceremony room is yours to use. After they come back to see you, welcome to either stay in here and wait for them to come back from the service office, or wait out in the waiting area if you wish. So it's up to you. All right, so good to have you guys. All right, so without any further ado, unless anyone has any other questions, I'm going to get started. Okay, are both of you ready to enlist?
Yes, sir.
All right, excellent. Okay, we'll start with the pre-oath questions. Number 1, have you been briefed on, and do you understand the Department of Defense applicant briefing on separation policy and restrictions on personal conduct in the armed forces?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you been briefed on and do you understand the Uniform Code of Military Justice Articles 83, 85, and 86, which cover fraudulent enlistment, desertion, and unauthorized absence or AWOL?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do either of you have any questions of me or any reservations or reluctance to enlist at this time?
No, sir.
Excellent. Okay. Group attention. Raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Blaine Bradley,
I, Brendan Szymanski,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and that I will obey the orders
and that I will obey the orders
of the President of the United States
of the President of the United States
and the orders
and the orders
of the officers
of the officers
appointed over me,
appointed over me,
according to regulations
according to regulations
and the Uniform Code
in the Uniform Code
of Military Justice.
of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, you can lower your hands. Come to parade rest. All right, and let's give them a round of applause, shall we? All right, congratulations to both of you. Now, on to the next step, right? Do both of you know when you're going to be headed out to initial training?
yes, sir.
Okay, when are you headed out to initial
July
training?
18th.
July 18th. Do you know what your date is?
January 4th, 2018, sir.
Okay, all right. So both of you have varying times for you to prepare for going out to initial training. So what I would just stress to each of you is keep up with a good training regimen, all right? Physical training, very important for initial training. Also, just make sure you get a communication plan solidified, okay, for when you're there, because communication sometimes is a little slim because you're concentrating on training. Keep that in mind, the types of things you're going to talk about. It's always good to plan ahead. Last but not least, certainly not least, make sure you're planning ahead of time for how you're going to use the educational benefits and all the training programs the service provides to you. And it's an excellent opportunity for you to do that, no matter how long you decide to stay in the service, whether it's for that initial contract, a full career, or somewhere in between. It's beneficial to you to plan for that now. Okay. All right. Just a couple of things that I say while I'm kind of on my soapbox, as it were. But bear with me because it took me a while to come around to that, and I'd like to impart that to you. Okay, gentlemen, if you would, please follow me through this door. We'll take care of your contracts. Be about 5-10 minutes at most. Okay. All right, gentlemen.